Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, with all that mouth, all that defiance. It's about time. You, Congresswoman Omar, have someone looking into your background, and it's none other than border czar Tom Homan, and he's looking into whether you are here legally with that apparent wedding to your brother. Let the good times roll. Dominic Carter here with you. We see your phone calls coming in, 800-848-9222. But I'm starting a little differently here than normal. I asked this question. Should she have been fired? Absolutely. But I do have a little sympathy. At a Wendy's fast food restaurant in the Midwest, and you can take it from beyond this incident because this has happened before with women that happen to be pregnant. But a Somali immigrant has been fired because a man walked up to place his order and he looks off to the side, often where they're making fries and so on, and she's seen standing there near the fries in uniform, barefoot. But the kicker here is that she is also pregnant, and you can see it clearly in the video. And he made a short video of this. Now, the woman says that her shoes were hurting her feet, and that's why she was barefoot. So, bottom line, this is not Somalia. This is America. She should have been fired, absolutely, but I do have a little sympathy. Take a listen to the situation.
A Somali immigrant employee at a Wendy's burger restaurant was fired after a customer complained that she was working barefoot. The incident happened earlier this week at a Wendy's location in the Midwest. A customer said he walked up to the counter to place an order and immediately noticed the female server had no shoes and no socks on. According to him, she was moving between the kitchen area and the register while completely barefoot. He said it made him lose his appetite, so he recorded a short clip and sent a complaint to Wendy's customer service. Management reacted quickly. Several employees said the woman was taken into the office the same day and was told she could not continue working without shoes. When she explained that her feet were swollen from a possible pregnancy and regular shoes caused pain, managers still decided to remove her from her shift. By the next morning, she was officially terminated. Some people online defended her, saying she looked uncomfortable and needed support, not punishment. They said she was doing her job and not touching food with her feet, so the customer overreacted. Others insisted Wendy's followed company rules. They pointed out that bare feet in a fast food kitchen violate safety standards, risk injuries, and could create legal issues. The debate continues. What do you think about this situation?
So 800-848-9222. I've seen the video, looked at it different ways, different sites and so on. The woman did look uncomfortable. She's clearly pregnant. And women, I'm sure many of you female callers that have had children can attest to the fact that your feet sometimes swell and so on. And so the woman says that's why she didn't have on shoes. That's her version of it. 800-848-9222. But Tom Homan, I absolutely love this guy. The border czar, doing a television interview. It's about time. It's about time that someone seriously look into and investigate Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, go from $65,000 net worth to apparently $30 million in a matter of 4 years. It's incredible. And she's so defiant, so smug, so disrespectful. It's time, frankly, that she be put in her place. 800-848-9222. This is Tom Homan in a television interview. acknowledging that the investigation is underway.
The Border Czar Tom Homan joins us tonight to talk about Minnesota as well as a number of other issues. And, sir, it's good to have you back on the show. Trump mentioning the Daily Mail reporting from 2020 that Ilhan Omar married her brother to get into the country. This was last week. Take a listen.
Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud.
Calls that a fraud. It's a story that has never been successfully refuted, even though it's now a 5-year-old story. That's clearly a deportable offense. Is there an investigation into that?
You know, I just got advised by a fraud investigator the other day on that. I asked the question, who reviewed the file, and says that, there was immigration fraud involved. The statute of limitation became an issue in the last 4 years when this was first brought up. Who was president? Who ran DOJ? So pulling the records now, pulling the files, and we're looking at, but this fraud investigator, who I know personally, one of the best fraud investigators in HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, said there's no doubt he reviewed the file. So I'm running that down this week, matter of fact, and we'll see.
It's tremendous that, and according to the Secretary, Kristi Noem of DHS, she said nearly 50% of the visas are fraudulent in this community. That would mean that half the Somali refugees are here in some way illegally. What's going to happen? Is something actually going to happen? Are there going to be people stripped of their visas, deported? Are we going to see that?
Absolutely. Those days are over. Thank God President Trump's in the White House. We're going to look at all of them. We're going to look at those here illegally, of course. We're going to look at those here under a visa or some sort of, immigration process that are criminals. We're going to look at the national security threats. But those who came through a process that weren't properly vetted, who didn't provide documentation, who slipped through the Biden's weak processes on, giving visas and temporary, whether student visas or visitors visas or whatever. We're going the whole gamut. President Trump has instructed us to go down.
So bottom line here, the con is up. You just heard Homan say that half of the Somalian visas are illegal. Something's wrong with them. Half. And certainly the Congresswoman, Omar, there's no other way to say it. It's time for her to go. She needs to be made an example of. Television cameras and all, escorting her out the country and freezing the money until it's thoroughly investigated how she was able to go from $65,000 annual net worth to $30 million. Freeze the money. You want to know what's wrong with Democrats? Here it is. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem testifying at a hearing. And Congressman Benny Thompson, I believe, is from Mississippi. And he's referring to the Afghan terror attack on the National Guard a few weeks ago. This guy actually says that it was an accident.
NCTC referenced the unfortunate accident that occurred with the National Guardsmen being killed.
You think that was an unfortunate accident?
It
was a terrorist
attack. Wait. Look, I'll get it straight. Then you can
He shot our National Guardsman in the head.
Look, Mr. Chairman, will you direct the witness to allow me to ask my question? It was an unfortunate situation, but you blamed it solely on Joe Biden.
And so because it was Biden's fault, that gives you the right to refer to this as an accident. Benny Thompson, you need to go. Let's start with your telephone calls. Line 3, Elena, Bergen County, New Jersey. Elena, what's on your mind?
Good afternoon, Dominic. I'm so glad to catch you in the afternoon. Usually I do in the evening.
Well, thank you. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Okay. You had mentioned the woman with bare feet in a food establishment.
Yes.
In this country, we have what's called HR rules. They protect both the employees and the employer. And if there is a situation following the rules, it protects the customer and everybody else around. Bare feet is almost as bad as not wearing underwear because it's hot. You just don't do that in this country. And legally, the establishment has certain liabilities put on it, not only health liabilities, but as well as legal liabilities. And this woman has to follow rules. I sympathize with her. When my feet don't feel good, I change my shoes. When something is happening with my body, I take care of it. I don't impose it on the employer. What if she was bleeding and making hamburgers at the same time? You don't do that. And people who come to this country don't realize that they're inserting themselves into a culture that is not their own. Their first thing should be learn about the culture, not get the money, but learn about the culture. Because if you learn about the culture where you are, you will have homes and monies and satisfaction and everything else. Some immigrants think it's like back home. Well, it's not like back home.
And Elena, I couldn't have said it better. It's almost as bad. When I'm home and my local mall, I feel bad for the people that own the Palisades Mall. I think that's what it's called. I think it's the second largest mall in America. It's completely dying out. The business is not there. When you walk into the mall, you feel like you're in the United Nations. It's not what it used to be. It's almost like, and where I live at in Rockland County, we used to love to go to, up to Bear Mountain, but not anymore. Because you go up to Bear Mountain because that's almost like the United Nations. And let's not even start to talk about sanitary conditions in the summertime. From what women have described to me, what goes on in the women's restrooms, up at the beach area, the lake area. And it's really sad, and of course it's a public park and the mall, but it's like all these billions invested and it's going all up in smoke, for the investors. Elena, thank you for the wonderful call. I see you folks, a few of you want to talk about a number of issues, but again, Ilhan Omar, your clock may be ticking. Because the Trump administration is investigating. You're bold enough. You are a refugee from Somalia, and you've got where some of the people literally don't wear shoes, and you've got the nerve to come here on the public dime and chastise and stand up to the President of the United States. Oh, lady, it's time to go and freeze the moolah on the way out the door. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I am looking at my email, at my Twitter, at Dominic TV. Dara Collins says, Dominic, in an email, if something heavy fell on her bare feet, that would be a great lawsuit. Wendy's was perfectly correct and most likely consulted with their attorneys before firing her. No bare feet in restaurant kitchens, hospital kitchens, etc. Dara, I'm looking now at Twitter, and Liz Rosenblatt, the lovely Liz in Florida, says at Dominic TV, put on open sandals or go home and elevate your feet. I have compassion. I've been pregnant 8 times. It's very dangerous to be barefoot outside your home, especially in a fast food establishment, which no one should be eating at anyway. Hint, hint. I got the hint, Liz. I feel exactly what you're saying. I haven't been pregnant. Certainly I've been pregnant 8 times. But I will say this much. I have seen pregnant women that are almost like, oh, I need to exhale. I need to sit down. I need to take these shoes off because my feet have swollen. So, but This is America. This is America. Let's go to Ruth in Connecticut, line 3. Ruth, what's on your mind?
I feel bad for the pregnant woman. I think, there's more to this. To just terminate her over the feet, it seems like there must be other issues, because if she's a full-time employee, she can get a workman's comp, or she can get an early maternity leave. I don't know what the benefits are for working at Wendy's, but it seems to me that they could have had some compassion right before a holiday season and figured out a way to keep her there, unless there are other things going on.
Well, Ruth, you do raise a good point, because oftentimes there are other issues. Oftentimes it's not the first time of something. It's one thing or another. But Ruth, if a customer walks up, okay, let's say you and I are together and we go to get some Wendy's, right? And we look off to the side, and I just figured out something. It always seems like the fries are being made off to the left at McDonald's. It just seems that way. But anyway, so the fries are being made, and we notice a woman standing there. We can tell she's pregnant, but with no shoes on. You wouldn't go ill?
No, I wouldn't go, but I would wonder what is the company doing to help her. In other words, my attitude is, if she's a good worker, find a way to get her to wear a bigger shoe, or give her a job that does not require she's on her feet so much until the baby is born. She obviously needs the money, and so I just think it was kind of cold right before Christmas to do this. That you can find a way to work around it. You buy her a pair of Crocs. You can wear that,
Right. Well,
I've had 7 pregnancies. I know what it's like.
Wait, you said 7? You said Ruth, you said 7?
7, yeah.
Wow. Hey, Ruth, this is a silly question. I'm just curious. When you first find out that you're pregnant, what does it feel like?
Very exciting, because I was told I couldn't have children.
Ah, well, that's wonderful news. But do you go, how do you know? Is it because you get morning sickness, or how do you actually, obviously the physical ways that we know, we don't need to go into that.
Yeah, there are physical symptoms that and it's very exciting. It was for me.
Well, fair enough, Ruth. Thank you for the call, Ruth, showing some compassion. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Get ready for Mamdani's New York. Mamdani's Nueva York. It's coming to a corner near you. Total chaos and hopefully not destruction. But it's coming. Mr. Slick. There's that song. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You got to cue that up, Carlos. You got to cue that up. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never going to get my love. Mom Donnie. I want you to listen to this interview. This guy thinks that he's slicker than slick. So a podcast or whatever it is, he's asked about the NYPD arresting Ice Baby on location. And listen very carefully, right? What was that cartoon character, Elmer Fudd, right? Or something like this. Slowly I turn, step by step. But listen to Mom Donnie. Listen carefully, folks. Because at first he doesn't answer the question directly. And then if you listen, Mr. Big Stuff here, Mom Donnie, actually says yes, that he's going to have the NYPD try, and I say good luck with that. If you think that President Trump can be tough now, you try arresting a member of ICE and see what the President of the United States, a 1-2 punch of him and Tom Homan. Just imagine what they're going to do. Now, folks, we're going to get back to the Somali pregnant barefoot worker at a Wendy's restaurant. She was let go. I have a little compassion, but she should have been let go. Because she's pregnant and so on. And that's why she said her feet had swelled and they were hurting and so on. She was by the fries. But I want you to listen carefully to Mamdani, in which he starts out blah, 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 blah. And then he basically confirms, yes, if ICE does something that he deems is unnecessary, that he's going to order the NYPD to make an arrest.
I've also heard you say that no one is above the law and anyone can be held accountable, and that goes for the President of the United States and it also goes for ICE agents. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is there a scenario in which the NYPD under you could arrest ICE agents on the streets of New York for their behavior towards immigrants?
My focus is for the NYPD to not be assisting ICE in their immigration enforcement and to actually be following the policies of sanctuary city law. And I do believe, however, that for the law to have meaning, there has to be accountability for all of us. And that is something that is necessary to speak about, to talk about, to act on, no matter who we're referring to, because so many are losing faith in politics in this moment because they're seeing inconsistency take place at every different facet of our society.
So in other words, there is a circumstance in which if an ICE agent violates someone's rights here in New York City, they could be arrested by the police department?
I think if an ICE agent is breaking the law, then that is a law that they should be held accountable to.
What are you going to do if Greg Bovino shows up with the Border Patrol agents and goes down into the subway? You know how important the subway is to all working class people in this city and the chill factor that it would send. What do you do in response to something like that?
Well, my responsibility is to do the work necessary to ensure that that doesn't take place.
That he doesn't even make it into the subway?
To have that hypothetical not come to bear here in New York City, and what I mean by that is by making the case to the federal administration that these kinds of actions do not serve the interests, even the ones that they are actually putting forward. That what New Yorkers need from a federal administration is the kind of partnership that will actually keep New Yorkers safe in this city, and that what I also told the president is we have the NYPD here. We trust the NYPD to deliver that public safety. We do not need ICE and the National Guard to make that same case.
So your message to the president, if he's considering sending in the National Guard troops to New York City or sending in those massed armed federal agents on a wide scale like we saw in LA or in Chicago and Charlotte, is what?
That we do not need them here. And what we have here is the NYPD that can provide that public safety, and that what we are looking to do is to build a city that is focused on the affordability crisis and understands that the cornerstone of that affordability agenda is the provision of public safety. And that was actually the core of the conversation I had with the president, what I would be looking to do and what we would be looking to deliver.
The big stuff. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff?
This is Mamdani. Mr. Big Stuff, who do you think you are?
All those fancy clothes. Oh, yeah. And have a big fine car. Oh, yes, you do now. Do you think I can
in just 2.5 weeks, Mamdani coming to a community near you. Mayor Mamdani, who do you think you are? You're never gonna get my love. Thank you for that, Carlos. Oh, all the girls. I left out the best part. Oh, he's so cute. He's just like Mangione, Luigi Mangione. They're both so cute. Look at Mayor Mamdani, the first Muslim American mayor of New York City. He's so cute. And he's just like Luigi Mangione in this regard. Only in this regard. Oh, Mangione is so cute. I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex. And I like the beat there in the background there, Carlos. I love the song. Jimmy Fontanez says at Dominic TV it might be more difficult to get a maternity leave, talking about the woman with no shoes on, pregnant, at a Wendy's working. It might be more difficult to get a maternity leave at an entry-level job like Wendy's. It is unfortunate. I know where I work at Amazon, they don't even have a maternity leave. They have a medical leave that's unpaid, double-edged sword. Debbie Labedo, the beautiful Debbie, Staten Island, says, if I saw someone working in a restaurant in the kitchen with no shoes, I'd walk right out. Let's see here. Let's go back to your telephone calls. John Floral, Pennsylvania. John, line 5, what's on your mind?
Floral Park, New York. Thank you
Okay,
for
Floral
taking my
Park.
call,
I'm
Dominic.
sorry. On my screen, it says Floral, Pennsylvania. We do apologize. Go ahead.
Park, New York. Thank you. I'm tired of people thinking just because they have a reason for doing or not doing something means it's a justification for doing it or not doing it. We have laws and rules for a reason, and that's usually to protect everybody, even protecting that woman when she doesn't seem to want to protect herself.
Hey, John, I hear you, and I agree with you, right? Termination is warranted. But John, at what point, I mean, we've all been around pregnant women, and sometimes it can be tough on them, right? They say they got to sit down. They say they're hungry. They say their feet are swelling. At what point do we give special consideration, or don't we?
Well, I mean, I can see special consideration. I mean, that's like people, having a heart and want to give our tax money to illegals or others. There's a difference between a charity and a tax. Taxes are taken without choice. Charities you can give to your heart's content to whoever you want for whatever reason you want. Start a GoFundMe, or I'm sure if these people, that were her bosses, I imagine that they talked to her and maybe gave her an option. But we have rules for a reason.
That is true, John, and sometimes that is the bottom line. Thank you for that. Let's go to line 4, William in Woodbury. William, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Thanks for taking my call. Who should I talk about? The pregnant woman? I think they should have gave her another chance.
How do we know she wasn't given another chance?
I don't know that, but if she wasn't, I think they should have, get bigger shoes or put flip-flops on to keep your feet off the floor. Mm-hmm. If she didn't get a chance the first time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you sympathize with the pregnant woman?
Yeah, I do, kind of. I mean, I've seen, like you've seen them, pregnant women complain about their feet being swollen and everything else a lot.
Right. They go through a lot to give life to the rest of us. Let's not lose. Hey, you know what, William? I'm going to keep it real with you. How much of this is the fact that she's a Somalian?
Well, yeah, but we don't know that for sure, Dominic, right?
Well, we don't know at the video, but the Wendy's knows what's going on. They know exactly what's going on, and they know what's in the employee's background. We don't know. We don't know if there's a history with this. We don't know if they've been sued by a previous employee that happened to be pregnant. We just don't know. William, thank you for the great call. Let's go to Judith in Brooklyn. Line 5. Judith, what's on your mind?
Hi. First of all, the idea to me, the imagery of her standing barefoot doing French fries. What if hot oil accidentally spilt on her feet? That would be horrifying, not to mention a lawsuit against Wendy's. So there's reasons why, there's a dress code and a protection, for the employee and for the people that they work for. No?
No, I would agree with you, Judith. Let me put this out to you as well. Tom Homan looking into Congresswoman Omar. I think it's a wonderful thing, but he did raise the possibility that the statute of limitations to go after her may have expired. What do you think should happen?
Well, first of all, I think if they lie, first of all, what does he say, Rubio? Doesn't he say that? Well, I don't know. It should be. You know what? No, that's for green cards or something. You know what? If she lied to get in here, then that should be a whole different thing. Nothing to do with statute of limitation.
Now, you've had a day or two to think about this. You want to back up? I think you called her a tramp.
The lady is a tramp. You know why? Because you said something about the lady, blah, blah. So this was at night. I called her. I said the lady's a tramp. And the next day, I don't know, we were talking, and this other lady called up, and I know a thing or two about her background. She's outrageous. She's a hypocrite. She's a fraud. She's a crook. She's everything bad. That's who she is.
Okay, but some people go through 4 marriages.
Well, if she thinks she's Liz Taylor, but right now she's not Liz Taylor, okay?
Right. In her mind, she thinks she's 9 Liz Taylors.
You know
In her mind, she thinks she's a star. Hey, Judith, help me out with this, right? I'm literally scratching my head. Carlos can verify this. How do you come here as a refugee yourself, and then you become so bold where you got the cojones, and females oftentimes have more cojones than men do, to criticize and go toe-to-toe, think you're going toe-to-toe with the President of the United States of America?
Well, because, you know what? Because she has this, they have arrogance. They all are very arrogant.
I'm
and
glad
very
you said
smug.
it, because it's 1,000% correct.
You know, who was it that, I forgot who it was, someone else, and he was giving, $50,000, I think, this coach that got fired or something because he was having an affair with a staff member now. Do you know what I'm talking about?
We talked about it last night. Oh, boy.
So he was giving her $50,000, okay?
I didn't know that part. I didn't know that part. All I know is, that would explain why perhaps law enforcement is involved. All I know is he's the coach, he's married, he's got kids, and he was allegedly having an affair with this young lady.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the money now. But Dominic, I'm talking about the money. Like, he gave her $50,000, which he wasn't supposed to do. So how about Ilhan Omar with her supposed consultation guy that she married after having a 7-month affair with him, both married, right? She would give him every time $20,000 for consultation. And everyone said, that's way out of line, till you found out she was having a thing with him, and she was basically giving him so much money, $20,000 each time. And it gets, pushed under the rug. All of this gets pushed under the rug. I'm at the point where I have such distrust issues, Dominic, I can't even tell you. I can't trust anybody.
I hear you, Judith. Thank you for the call. I've got to move on to take a break. Thank you so much for the great call. Folks, join Red Apple Audio Network's AARP New York City, the Police Athletic League, Gristedes and D'Agostino's, supermarkets, and nationwide imaging services as we deliver holiday meals to more than 5,000 families across the city. Go to redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey. This holiday season, help the Red Apple Audio Networks feed those in need. Your donation helps put a meal on the table of a family in need. That's redappleaudionetworks.com/turkey.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. We'll get to that in terms of your calls. But first, coming December 20th, right around the corner, folks, if you will, 9 days away, it's home for the holidays with Mr. Christmas, Vinny Medugno. Get ready to slay your night away with live performances, ugly sweaters, and jolly friends. It's Mr. Christmas, Vinny Medugno, singing your holiday favorites live in concert December 20th. For more info and tickets, go to homefortheholidays2025.com. It's Mr. Christmas, Vinny Medugno, live in concert. That's homefortheholidays2025.com. I see Debbie Lebedo just posted something that's very, very interesting. She says, at Dominic TV, if that Somalian woman that worked in Wendy's got hurt, would she have mercy on them and not sue them after they employed her in her pregnancy? I think not. Debbie says shoes don't cost that much. She knew that those shoes were uncomfortable when she put them on. But Debbie, the question that I ask is, and you're a mom and a grandmom, and to all of you women that have delivered children and so on, but don't sometimes your feet swell and it hits you at the last minute? Let's continue with your telephone calls. Lauren, line 5, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Lauren?
Hi, Dominic.
Hi.
Hi. So, a couple of things. First of all, businesses post on their doors, no shirt, no shoes, no service. But that's for the customers. Secondly, for the workers, corporate puts out a workplace dress code. There are also state safety regulations. And we don't know what went on at that meeting that they had with her, and I'm sure the legal department was involved. And maybe this wasn't a first offense, and it's all about also worker safety, not only her own, but God forbid she had slipped on oil or the hot oil, and then other workers, they got hit by, or customers hit by flying hot oil. I mean, the whole thing could have been a horrible, horrible disaster, and there would have been lawsuits going on out the kazoo. And again, we weren't at the meeting. We don't know what went on, and maybe she, who knows? Maybe she said, I can't wear any kind of shoes. Well, then you have to take responsibility. You're working in an establishment. There are rules and regs, and, they have to be abided by. So that's the bottom line, right?
Lauren, you're correct. I'll do you one better, and this sounds cold and cruel. I'll admit that before I say it. We'll do you a favor. Just go back to Somalia. That solves all the problems. Lauren, thank you for the great call. Let's go to Adam, line 4, Brooklyn. What's on your mind, Adam?
Hey, good afternoon, Dominic. Big fan of your show. I wanted to pass something by you. With everything going on with ICE, and, obviously a lot of people are scared and nervous about being deported. Why doesn't the Trump administration give people that are here, that are already working, that are trying to make a living here, a Social Security card? They give them a Social Security card, and now they're paying taxes. Now they're documented in the system, okay? That's a fair shot of giving people an opportunity that are already working.
Whoa. Adam, I'm going to take out my small violin and start playing it over my shoulder. What about the fact that they're here illegally? What about that? What about the fact that they're here illegally?
Well, I mean, whose country isn't this? Whose country is this?
It's not theirs. It's not theirs. Get out. It's that simple. Get out. You want to come back legally? Then come back legally. No, Adam, you don't give them a Social Security card and say we're going to reward you for your horrible behavior. Adam, I don't know what planet you're on. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But, no, that's not the answer at all. Get out. It's real simple. Get out. What part of no don't you understand? Let's go. Maybe I can squeeze it in. Let's go to Dennis, New Jersey. Dennis, you got 15 seconds. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hey, Dominic. She should be fired, and in addition, the supervisor should be fired. She should be fired for being stupid. What you do, your feet hurt, you go to your boss and you say, my feet hurt. I'm working in a food establishment. People are going to be coming in, seeing me, my bare feet. They're never going to come back. The business will shut down eventually if the word gets out. You go home that day, and you come back when your feet are better.
Right, but they already short-staffed, so you never know what happens. Folks, all it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. I'm back at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here? Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.